Hi, welcome to English Hamster. Are you learning English? Great. Here we learn through stories. They are simple and interesting. You can improve English while learning knowledge. Remember to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
If you feel like New Year's resolutions don't work, you're not alone. Many people try to change their lives, but they do it in the wrong way. They create resolutions because everyone else is doing it, but they don't understand how real change happens. Real change is not just about being disciplined or productive for a short time. I used to think the same way. I've given up on many goals, but I believe that people fail in their attempts to change for a reason. But even though New Year's resolutions may not work for everyone, it's still important to reflect on your life and think about how you can improve it. Maybe you want to start a business, get in better shape, or live a more meaningful life. But many people quit after just a few weeks. I want to share with you some ideas about how you can change your life in a better way. These ideas are about psychology, behavior, and productivity. If you use these ideas, you could change your life in a big way. I will share a protocol at the end that will help you dig deep into your mind and figure out what you truly want from life. It will take about a day to complete, but it can help you in ways that last much longer. Let's start. When people set big goals, they often focus on two things: changing their actions and changing who they are. Changing your actions is not the most important part. Changing who you are is what really matters. Let's take an example. Think of someone successful, like a bodybuilder or a CEO. Do you think the bodybuilder has to force themselves to eat healthy? Do you think the CEO has to push themselves to show up at work? It might seem that way, but the truth is, these successful people don't have to struggle to do these things. It's natural for them. If you want to reach a big goal, you need to live the lifestyle that leads to that goal. If you want to lose weight, for example, you need to live a healthy lifestyle, not just wait for the day you reach your goal. If you don't live the way that helps you reach your goal, you will probably go back to your old habits, and all your efforts will be wasted. When you change yourself, old habits that don't help you will start to feel bad. You will see clearly that these habits are leading to a life you don't want. But right now, if you don't understand that, you may feel okay about the way you're living. We will talk more about this later. Most people's behavior is goal-oriented, which means everything we do is driven by a goal, even if we don't always realize it. For example, when you sit down to watch TV, you might be trying to avoid doing something else, like work. But sometimes, the goals we have can actually harm us. For example, if you procrastinate, you might tell yourself you lack discipline. But really, your goal could be to avoid the judgment of others or to avoid finishing a task because it feels too difficult. If you want to change, you need to change the goals that guide your actions. This is more than just setting a new goal. It's about changing the way you see the world and your life. You need to understand what you want and how it shapes the way you think and act. Your identity is how you see yourself. It is formed by your goals and actions. If you want to change, you have to break the cycle of thinking that holds you back. When you were a child, you needed to learn how to survive. You followed your parents' rules because it was necessary to stay safe. But over time, these rules and beliefs shape who you are. If your parents were influenced by certain ideas about success, you might adopt those ideas too. This process can be harmful. For example, if you grew up believing in certain political or religious ideas without questioning them, it can be difficult to change. Your identity is tied to these beliefs, and challenging them can feel threatening. To change your life, you need to break free from these old beliefs and stop seeing yourself as the person who can achieve more. The mind grows and changes over time. As you grow, your ideas about life and success also change. When you're born, you absorb everything around you to survive. You learn from your family and your culture. But if you're not careful, these ideas become fixed, and it becomes harder to live a meaningful life. There are different stages of mind development, and you can see them in many models, such as Maslow's hierarchy of needs and others. These stages help explain how people grow and evolve. For most people, the most important thing is to keep moving through these stages in a way that helps you live a more meaningful life. For example, people at the impulsive stage act without thinking, while people at the self-aware stage start to see that their inner life doesn't always match the outside world. The most important thing is to realize that no matter what stage you're at, there's always room for growth. Intelligence is not just about knowing facts. It's about being able to get what you want out of life. There are 3 important ingredients for success: agency, opportunity, and intelligence. Agency is the ability to take action. Opportunity is the chance to do something. Intelligence is your ability to understand the situation and find a way to reach your goal. If you have high agency and opportunity but low intelligence, you won't be able to make the most of your opportunities. On the other hand, if you have high intelligence, you can use your resources and opportunities to achieve your goals. Intelligence is also about understanding how systems work and being able to adjust your actions based on feedback. For example, a thermostat can sense the temperature and adjust to keep things comfortable. High intelligence is the ability to learn from mistakes and keep improving. The best changes in my life have come after I reached a point where I was fed up with my lack of progress. To make a big change in your life, you need to dig deep into your mind and question what's holding you back. This is a process that many people avoid, but it is one of the most powerful ways to start a new life. I want to give you a protocol that you can use to change your life. This protocol will help you question your current life and move toward something better. It involves 3 phases. Dissonance. This is when you feel like you don't belong in your current life, and you become fed up with where you are. Uncertainty. You don't know what to do next, so you might feel lost or confused. Discovery. You discover what you really want to do with your life, and you make fast progress toward it. To start, you need to look deeply into your current life. Set aside 15-30 minutes to think about the following questions. What is the dissatisfaction in your life that you have learned to live with? This is not deep suffering, but something you just tolerate. What do you complain about but never change? Write down the top 3 complaints you have had over the past year. For each complaint, think about what someone would conclude about your true desires by watching your actions. What is one uncomfortable truth about your life that you are afraid to admit to someone you respect? These questions help you see the things in your life that you are unhappy with. Once you have recognized them, you need to create what I call an anti-vision. This is a clear picture of the life you don't want to live. It will give you motivation to move away from that life. Imagine your life in 5 years if nothing changes. What does your day look like? How do you feel? What are you doing? Who are you with? What have you missed out on? What will people say about you when you're not around? Now think about 10 years from now. What will your life look like? How will you feel at the end of it? What did you never let yourself try? The next step is to break the habits and patterns that keep you stuck. As you go through your day, ask yourself these questions at random times. What am I avoiding by doing what I'm doing right now? If someone watched me for the last few hours, what would they think I want out of life? Am I moving closer to the life I want or the life I don't want? What's the most important thing I'm pretending isn't important right now? These questions help you break free from your automatic behavior and think more deeply about what you are doing. When you ask yourself these questions, you interrupt your autopilot and start to question your actions. At the end of the day, reflect on the insights you gained. What have you learned about why you've been stuck? What is the real problem that has been holding you back? Write a sentence that captures what you refuse to let your life become. This is your anti-vision in a simple form. It should make you feel something when you read it. Now, write a sentence that describes the life you want to create. This is your vision for the future. Even though it will evolve, it's a starting point. The next step is to set goals. These goals should not just be about achievement. They should be a way to shift your mindset and guide your actions. Think of goals as a way to focus on what really matters. You don't have to worry about a finish line because the real joy comes from the progress you make. Now that you have your vision, anti-vision, and goals, it's time to organize everything into a plan. Think about your life as a video game. This approach helps you focus, stay motivated, and enjoy the process. In a video game, there are several key components that keep you engaged. The vision, this is your ultimate goal, your reason for playing the game. It's where you want to be. The anti-vision, this represents the consequences of not achieving your goal. It's what happens if you lose the game. The 1-year goal, this is the mission you focus on for the next year. It's your main priority. The 1-month project, this is the challenge you tackle in the next month. It's like a mini boss fight. Daily levers, these are the daily tasks that move you closer to your 1-year goal. These are the small but important actions you take every day. Constraints, these are the rules of your game. They help you stay focused on what matters and avoid distractions. These elements work together to create your own life game. As you follow this plan, you'll feel more driven and motivated. You'll stop getting distracted by shiny objects because you'll have a clear direction. The more you focus on this path, the easier it becomes to stay on track. To help you organize everything, create a list with these 6 components. Anti-vision, what is the life you absolutely don't want? What will happen if you don't change? Vision, what is the ideal life you want? What will it look like if you reach your goal? 1-year goal, what will your life look like in 1 year? Is it closer to the life you want? 1-month project, what do you need to learn or do in the next month to keep moving toward your 1-year goal? Daily levers, what are the most important things you need to do each day to make progress? Constraints, what are the things you are not willing to sacrifice in order to achieve your vision? These 6 elements are the foundation of your game. They help you stay focused on the big picture while also taking small steps every day to improve your life. As you play your life game, remember that the goal is not to reach a final destination. The goal is to enjoy the process of growth and improvement. Every day is an opportunity to make progress and learn something new. Don't get discouraged if things don't happen quickly. The key is to keep going, even when things feel difficult or slow. The more you focus on your vision, the more you will become aligned with it. You will stop seeing distractions as important and you will start to focus on what truly matters. The better you get at playing your game, the more natural it will feel to be the person you want to become. As you get better at the game, you will reach new levels of success. You'll be able to handle bigger challenges and unlock new opportunities. Over time, you will transform your life in a way that feels effortless and exciting. You will no longer be chasing after fleeting goals, but instead living a life that matches who you really are. One important thing to remember as you play your life game is that small wins matter. Every time you complete a task or make progress toward your goal, it's a win. These small wins build up over time and lead to bigger changes. You don't need to wait for a huge breakthrough to feel successful. Every step you take is part of the journey. As you focus on your daily tasks and make small improvements, you'll start to feel more confident and motivated. These wins will give you the energy to keep going, even when things get tough. Soon, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Another key to success is tracking your progress. As you work toward your one-year goal, keep a record of your actions and results. This helps you stay accountable and see how much you're improving. It also allows you to identify any obstacles or areas where you need to adjust your approach. You can track your progress in many ways. For example, you could keep a journal, use a productivity app, or make a checklist of tasks. The important thing is to have a system that helps you stay organized and focused. As you look back on your progress, celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Each step you take brings you closer to your vision. The more you celebrate your progress, the more motivated you will be to keep going. Consistency is one of the most important factors in achieving long-term success. It's easy to start a new project with excitement and energy, but it's the ability to keep going day after day that leads to real results. Even when you don't feel like it, continue working toward your goals. The key to success is showing up every day, even if it's just for a short time. Small, consistent actions add up over time and lead to big changes. Consistency also helps build discipline. The more you stick to your routine, the easier it becomes to stay on track. Over time, you'll develop new habits that support your goals and make success feel natural. By turning your life into a game, you can stay focused, motivated, and excited about the journey ahead. The key is to take it one step at a time, break old patterns, and stay committed to your vision. Embrace the process of growth and enjoy the small wins along the way. Remember, real change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and consistency. But with the right mindset and a clear plan, you can create the life you truly want.
Hey, if you learned something new today, please give this video a like. Write your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second and it really helps to create more English videos for you. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.